Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So now I've just watched the film, the Batman film, the first one of the Dark Knight Trilogy, Batman Begins. Now, just to clear things up, I've said this before on the channel, but I never really, when I was younger to now, I never really got into the whole superhero thing. Including Batman. I mean, Batman I always thought definitely was one of the cooler of the ones out there, but I still never really got into it that much and don't really like a whole hell of a lot of the other movies out there, even about Batman. But I do really like Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, and I do really like Christian Bale's performance as Batman. I definitely think he was the best Batman that there has been, in my opinion. And I think that actually my favorite Batman movie of all of them is this one, Batman Begins. I like how it's an origin story. I like what they did with the origin story. I like how they decided to tell it. I like how it's grounded in so much more reality than a lot of superhero movies and even Batman movies. There's not a whole lot of, it's a superhero movie, but there's not a whole lot of, supernatural ability really, or magic kind of stuff thrown into it. It's, basically it goes to show that this is just a really heavily trained guy. And even though, some of the stunts and whatever, some of the stuff that goes on is exaggerated, it's not 100%. The suspension of belief is not 100% taken away because it's plausible within very abstract circumstances, I guess is what you would say. Basically what I'm saying is, well, and another thing is me, I'm a history buff. I always really liked history, and um, I always liked knighthood and learning about the knights and chivalry and all of that. It was always one of my favorite things to learn about in history. And I think that that's what, well, I mean, Batman is the Dark Knight. He is a knight, right? And I think I also really like Liam Neeson's character and his performance in this too. I was kind of disappointed they turned him bad, actually, but whatever. But in the beginning of the movie, when Bruce Wayne is under his training, there's a heavy amount of both knights and chivalry, as well as samurai philosophy included into that, which I really liked. But basically, what I'm saying is, I like how Batman is he's not really supernatural. He doesn't really have superpowers per se. He's just a really, really heavily trained man, to the point where what he's able to do almost seems, supernatural to people who are dealing with him, which I really like. And I just like the grounded in reality side of it. Like he makes his own suit, and yeah, like, and even like everything that he has to do, when he's trapped on top of the building, is he doesn't just have this. The Batmobile doesn't just all of a sudden start flying or something, just magically like that. He has to actually shoot the barrier down with missiles off the building and then drive off that way, and like everything's done just a little bit more, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I never really got into that whole superhero thing, move things around with your hands and, beams of light coming out of your body and taking people out and whatever. I never really went for that, so I like how this is grounded in reality. There's some, there's some really nice landscape cinematography too, as you know, I'm heavily into that, especially near the beginning of the movie. I don't know where that was filmed, like during the training. I don't know where that was filmed, but wherever it was really nice, really cool looking place. Good cinematography there. All the CGI of, like Gotham City and all that was beautiful. Like really, really realistic and really well done CGI. Basically, I do really like this Batman movie. Hopefully, within the near future here, I'm going to get around to reviewing the entire Dark Knight trilogy, because I can't stress enough, I do actually really quite enjoy the Dark Knight trilogy, and especially Batman Begins. It's probably my favorite, and I, I also still can't stress enough that I don't really generally go for that kind of movie, but I do like these ones. And with that said, oh yeah, another thing is the movie's a little too long. It could have been trimmed down a little shorter. The movie's definitely a little too long, but it's good. It's not too like over the top long or anything, but it's a little too long for what it is, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, with that being said, I think I will give Batman Begins an A. I got no problem giving it an A. And as far as the cheese grating goes, that's a tricky one, because there's some cheesy moments in it, but it's not that much of a cheesy movie. Huh. What one would this be? What one would this be? I'm gonna say aged cheddar slices. That's what I'll say. It's aged cheddar, but it's not quite as good as, a straight up bar of aged cheddar. But it's a pre-sliced aged cheddar, which is just about as good, but not quite as good. So, yeah, that is my review for Batman Begins, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Please come back for more.